we go. Welcome to MEP Mondays. We are so happy to have you all with us, and hello everybody out there in Facebook land. Super happy to have you with us as well. Or if you're watching this on YouTube after we've finished, then we're also going to welcome you here. We're so happy to have you with us. This is our third MEP Monday. On the 28th, Iván did a session on having options and how we respond to difficult situations. And last week on December 5th, I did a session on activities to do when you don't know what to do. And today it's about gratitude practice. Gratitude is free, it's accessible, and it's empowering. So we're excited about sharing gratitude with you and practicing more. So my name is Mary Scholl, and this is Iván Suazo. We are from the Institute for Collaborative Learning. Let's see, let's just do a quick little intro. Iván, you want to share a little bit about yourself, and then I'll share about me?
Absolutely, Mary. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. The ones that are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, the recording. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. We're happy to be here on the station today on special topic, gratitude. I'm originally from Nicaragua, and I live and work here in Costa Rica, one of the facilitators of the Institute for Collaborative Learning. And gratitude has been one of my favorite skills to be practiced in a daily life. It's been bringing lots of power, lots of energy to be as I am. So for me, this is a special night, a special time talking and practicing gratitude. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you all together. Pass it over to Mary.
Oh, thanks, Iván. Yeah, my name is Mary. I'm originally from upstate New York in the United States, but I've been living here in Costa Rica for about 20 years, over 20 years. And I also work with Iván at the Institute for Collaborative Learning. And it's so fun to have alumni here. There's a number of people here who have taken our T-cell certificate program. We have people from Peru who took a program we led on educational leadership and communities of practice. And I'm not sure there might be some other programs here too. I know there's people who have been to other webinars that we've given, so welcome back to everybody. And I'm also super excited about this theme tonight. And also welcome to anybody who's new, right? If this is your first time encountering us, welcome. We're happy you're here. So tonight is about gratitude. And we are going to be thinking about how we're going to practice. We're going to talk a little bit about what is gratitude and how we can develop a practice of it. We're going to think about what the impact is on us, and also like what are the parts of gratitude that are like meaningful and deep, right? It's so much more than just saying thank you. If I say, Gabby, thank you for coming, I'm happy you're here, right? That's okay. That's a kind of gratitude. But what if I said to you, wow, Gabby, seeing your name pop up on the screen when I saw you coming into the room just brought back a flood of beautiful memories of nice conversations that we've had. And I just feel really touched and grateful that you chose to come be with us tonight. So thank you so much.
Oh, that hits totally different than just a thank you. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just much more.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Genuine gratitude, right? With some different parts to it. And we're going to look tonight. What are those parts? What is it that's more than just thank you? So that's what we're going to do for this next 50 minutes. Yeah. Oops, that's what I just talked about. That's what we're going to do. So the first thing we want to do is think about some questions together. And we want to invite you all to either write in the chat or unmute and share. What are some of your answers to any of these questions? What are some of your thoughts about gratitude? What's your experience with gratitude? And this last one, what is it that keeps you from offering gratitude, or keeps us from offering gratitude? So I'm just going to create some space. What do you think? On Facebook, we'll be looking for you. Any comments we see there, we'll try to respond to you there as well and include you all. We've got 6 people, I think, with us on Facebook. Woohoo!
I think that whenever you actually thank, like from the heart, and not just like thank you, as we were just saying, it's kind of like, it feels kind of something within you. Like you could be in the worst moment of your life, but whenever you are like completely grateful about not things, but people or moments or situations, it kinds of feel like it feels warm. I don't know if it has happened to any of you here, but whenever you go back and say like, oh my God, I have so much, and I'm so thankful about everything that I have and all the people around me, like it just makes every single bad thing kind of go away, like, and just stay there like for a moment, and you just feel whole. I don't know if I make myself understood, but yeah.
So there's something about the gratitude for you that makes you feel really present and completely you in this moment.
Exactly. And it makes me connect with others, which is amazingly beautiful, right?
Thanks, Gavin. Laura, and then Betsy.
Hi, Mary. Thank you very much. Well, as you know, since the first session that we have, my life is a kind of well, it's full of gratitude. You know, about what God makes in my life, because I think that He gives me a second chance, and every single year and every single second and moment that I have, I just say to Jesus, thank you very much because I have this, or thank you very much because I see this, thank you very much because I can hear this, thank you very much because I can hug this and those people that I have around me. And I feel, I don't know, that this session for me, it's like water in the desert, you know, because that's my life. I think I am I think that I am example of gratitude, a gratitude about what God give us and makes over people, and especially the people who is, I don't know, maybe out of control, or maybe it's not well well, it's not no está conforme. I cannot, well, no está conforme. I don't know how to say that in English. I forget it. Well,
Okay, we can Spanglish.
well, yes, when you don't have, when you are not, well, in the way that you have to do it, you know, because I think that the clue in your life has to be to say thank you every single day, you know, because we have life, and that's what I think about when we say gratitude, and when we read the title of this section, and I love it. I love it.
Thanks so much, Laura. So nice to hear. Those are big, deep gratitudes, right? For being. Yeah. Betsy?
Okay, my thought about gratitude is like, to me, is being or giving credit to somebody or someone for what they're done, and acknowledge what the person is doing. Now, I think all of us acknowledge the creation of God, and that, you know, we have what we have, we are what we are, thanks to Him. And even in the Bible, it's mentioned when God cure or clean the leprechauns or the people that had leprosy. It was 10 of them, and only one turned back to say thank you. He was surprised to see where the others was. I think when we give thanks, when we show gratitude to someone, is because we appreciate and we acknowledge what they are doing, or whatever action it could be. Maybe it could be just a smile. And I think it's part of being respectful. It's part of it should be, it's a value that we should all practice. And thinking about do to others what you like to yourself. If you're grateful to others, and people would acknowledge things that you do, not because you are doing it for them to acknowledge, but it feels good when you hear somebody say thank you, right? And I'm going to embrace the opportunity to say thank you to Mary and to Ivan for inviting me to this course.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy.
Receiving your gratitude. Let's see. And I'd like to read, Mary, some of the comments in the chat. That's great. And also inviting you all to not only write, but also read what all the participants are sharing. And it's so beautiful. It's kind of a waterfall of gratitude. So Ana Milagros said, being grateful helps me to balance everything I get and to be more connected with others. And it's so beautiful, right? Just connected to oneself and connected with others through gratitude. And Pablo Gonzalez says, my experience of gratitude is that when I express it, it gives me inner peace. It is like a switch that automatically changes my mood for the rest of the day. I try to express it every single day whenever possible. It's a great to do it, you know, like anytime. Yeah, every day, anytime. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Heriberto says, gratitude starts with me, with God. Everything we look around, we should be grateful with it, with Him. Mary says, learning to be grateful for all the experiences, positive and not so positive, in my life has helped me find peace. That's a beautiful, great quote. It's like from a book. Yeah. Thank you. I like to share my experience too, Mary, with gratitude. Yeah, one thing that is for me, gratitude to me, one thing that the impact gratitude has had on me is building up relationships, stronger relationships. When I practice gratitude with myself and gratitude with others, I building up trust too. As I have this experience with my wife, I've been working on trust, on building up trust in oneself and trust the others. And then one strategy we've been using is just practicing gratitude. I open my eyes and I say, I'm grateful I opened my eyes this morning. I get up from bed and I say, I'm grateful I can do this on my own. My wife just had a surgery last week. And just after the surgery, it was hard for her to get up. So I was supporting her. I say, I'm grateful I'm supporting you. And she was, I'm grateful you can support me. Now she's grateful she get up on her own. Just to build, trust and stronger relationships through gratitude has been my experience.
Thanks, Iván. Yeah, for me too. I wanted to share it here in the Facebook chat. Freddie Lopez, hi Freddie. He wrote value small things. Saying that's about your experience with gratitude. It is. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a very small thing, as a few of you have mentioned. And I'm kind of curious about this last question. Like, what keeps us from offering gratitude? What makes it hard? One thing for me that sometimes makes it hard. Oh wait, one more person here in the Facebook chat wrote, Virginia Garita writes, the opportunity to wake up every morning and have one more chance to enjoy a new day full of new things to learn. Yeah, that's beautiful. And Marilu writes that gratitude helps her feel nice emotions, improve relationship with people, and around you, and like really strong ones. That's beautiful. So one thing that keeps me from, hold on a second. I just realized that. One thing that keeps me from offering gratitude is probably if I'm so busy, it's like I don't want to pause. I'm just like go, 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 go mode. And I find that if I pause and do some gratitude practice, I get better energy and I feel better and I have a better attitude. But sometimes I just go, 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 go. Another thing that keeps me from offering gratitude is sometimes I don't know if the person I want to give it to will receive it. They might just say, "Oh no, Mary, what are you doing?" And you know, it's like it's not always easy to receive gratitude, right? For whatever reason, people deflect or say, "No, no, no, it was nothing." And so, if I feel like that might happen, I might not offer the gratitude that I'm thinking about. Or if I'm so wrapped up in negative emotions, like if I'm teaching a class and I'm really upset or frustrated because the students aren't doing what I want them to do, I might not shift into gratitude so quickly because I have something going on inside of my emotions that is keeping me from living gratitude. So I'm just curious, does anybody else have any other answers for that last question? Like what keeps you from offering gratitude?
I was thinking and I wrote a couple of things here, and when you were talking, like these things kept coming back to me. What you mentioned, like you don't know how the other person is gonna take it. And I wrote fear. Like sometimes we are so afraid of what the others might think. If they might think, am I being too much? Like, am I don't know, are they gonna think that this is genuine? Like, are they gonna think that I just want to, like, just, I don't know, win them over or something like that, right? I think that stops us from actually expressing not only gratitude, but so many other nice feelings towards people. And yeah, that fear is like, and fear stops us from doing many different things. But yeah, like also I think that taking things and people for granted, like sometimes we just don't stop and say, like, you know, I have so much, I have so many people in my life that are so wonderful. I have so many things in my life that are making every single day better. And I just worry about everything that I don't have, all the things that I'm missing from my life, instead of just stopping and looking around and say, wow, right? Like, I mean, I have so much. So I wrote those two things here, and taking things for granted, things and people for granted. I think that those are, for me, what keeps me from offering sometimes gratitude.
Thank you, Gabriela, for sharing. It's beautiful. Well, one thing that keeps me from offering gratitude is, especially on difficult days, is just trying to find good things to be grateful for. And not being aware that I also can be grateful for things that are not easy, right? For challenging things, right? It's that you're thinking, oh, I don't have a good thing to be grateful for. It's just like I'm also grateful for hard things, you know, difficult, challenging things. Because there might be a message behind that challenge. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Yes. Well, I'm listening to you, and it comes to my mind, my relationship with my husband, because right now we'll taking some topics for discussion, because in my point of view, we as girls, we want or we need that when to have some gratitude words, or some words to say thank you because you did this, or thank you because the food was delicious, or thank you because you came from earth to, I don't know, from work early, or something like that, you know. And because we are so emotional, But for boys, this is not common, and they don't need it, but it is necessary, you know. And they say, no, you have to expect to receive, well, to say thank you because you're doing something that you have to do because you're the woman or something like that, you know. So when you say, Mary, that I don't know, maybe we can feel like some kind of deception about people who didn't give us a thankful, I don't know, maybe attitude, you know, for what we do. So this is something that we, well, for us is very, well, it's kind of difficult, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, thank you, Laura. It's interesting. I don't know if there's a gender difference in terms of gratitude. It'd be interesting to learn, I don't know, out there, both from the men and women in here, and if you feel like there is, or also just to see if there's any research around that. But because I kind of, there's something inside of me that wants to say that it's just, we all need to be appreciated on some level. Like that's an life energy that might be genderless. But I'm not sure. That's sort of how I'm feeling.
I
also want to mention, yeah.
Sorry. No, I was going to say that I kind of get what Laura was trying to express. Anything that for me, or what I cut from what she said is that, like, sometimes men has been deprived from expressing and receiving emotions that are so powerful, like love, gratitude, like so many others, that they believe that they don't need them, or that they are not, that they believe that they don't need them, but they don't understand how it feels like, because they have been deprived from them for so many years and for so many generations. And I think that is changing now. That's what Laura was trying to say. And like, the idea behind it is not that they don't need it, is that they have been taught not to need it. And I get like this quotation, like quote unquote, right? But yeah, like it's genderless, as you said.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'd like to
okay.
read messages in the chat. Pablo Rosales wrote about the impact of gratitude. Marsha Rosenberg, Nonviolent Communication, wrote about this. Giving is receiving, right? When I give my gratitude, you're receiving is you're giving. So Pablo wrote, I think what happens, what keeps me from offering it is that it is healing. It makes me feel great. I mean, you kind of pass it on. When you're walking in the street and suddenly you share a smile with a complete stranger, that is what gratitude provides. Perhaps that smile changed that person's day. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes, it's just giving, right? It's beautiful just to give to anyone in the world, right? And then receiving the impact you're making on that person, right? With just a smile saying, hi, human being, and I see you, right? That's beautiful. And Ruth Mary said, I think sometimes it's really difficult to find gratitude in a situation that is hurting you deeply, and you don't know the purpose in your life. Yes, sometimes I can't see it, right? The message is why this is happening, right? There might be a message behind, but sometimes they can't see it from the very beginning.
Yvonne, I would like to just add something to that, because I think it's a lot of times in life we're told, when we have hard situations, people will say, well, there's something you're going to be grateful. You'll be grateful for that someday. And we don't have to be grateful for the hard things that happened. We can be grateful for lessons that we learned from those hard things, but we don't have to be grateful for something hard or difficult, whether it's someone dying or a breakup or a divorce or I don't know, something. You don't have to be grateful for all those experiences, but I find that I can be grateful for things that I've learned. So I just want to share that, because I think sometimes people get this idea that there's a lot of kind of messages out there of like, just be grateful, just be grateful. So I also want to add in the Facebook chat, Jose Ernesto Calero. Hello, Ernesto. And he says, gratitude is the key to welcome for more blessings. It does. It opens us up, right? And Virginia writes, gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul, which is a quote from Henry Ward Beecher. And Heriberto writes here that teachers and parents should keep offering gratitude in order to model and train our pupils and kids to be generous with others. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a great segue, Heriberto. We're going to look into some ways of experiencing gratitude. Before we do, I think people have already mentioned how gratitude has benefited them. It can benefit our personal life, can help our health, our emotional states, and people have said they had better relationships, and also our professional life, and giving us a happier and healthier professional life. So there was a study done by this that we found this in the Greater Good Science Center, that they have a beautiful site where they'll publish positive results from positive research on doing positive psychology. And this research was done asking people to write a gratitude journal for 10 weeks or daily, so weekly for 10 weeks or daily for 2 weeks. And what they found is an increase in happiness, a reduction in anxiety and depression, strengthened their immune system. They also found they slept better and they had increased resilience and better relationships. How amazing is that? How many of us would like these results in our lives, right? Would you like to have greater happiness? Would you like to reduce anxiety and depression? Would you like to have a stronger immune system, sleep better, stronger resilience? It sounds good, right? So we are going to do a few gratitude practices, just to get us going. We have a sampling here. Yvonne's going to start us out with 2 lists, and then I'll do a focused thinking of gratitude for self and other, and talk about how to communicate it. And then if there's time, we'll do some free-flowing journal. We'll see where we go with that. So I'm going to pass this over to Yvonne. Yvonne, do you want to share it from your screen, or do you want me to share from here?
Maybe I can share some music for the right list. Yeah, thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. It's a great conversations we have in gratitude, and we're gonna let's practice. Let's do some practice. So with this practice, we're gonna write 2 lists. So I'm gonna give you a few seconds for you to find something to write on, a piece of paper, a notebook, or you can open a document on your computer or your device, a pen or a pencil to write on. 15 seconds. We're about to start writing 2 lists, right? So the first slide is instructions about the first list. So on this first list, you include things that are heavy, be light heavy or medium heavy, or very heavy for you. Heavy for you in your mind and in your heart. It's just right now, we're working on present. What is heavy for you right now? And just write a list, like a kind of a shopping list. And I will be playing music for a minute or so. And during this time, you write the list and then keep on writing the list. And if there's a moment you feel something heavy, you can stop and take a pause or continue writing. I'll play some music. I'm gonna stop sharing and play music. Music. Thank you so much for writing the first list. I decided to share the screen because of Facebook Live. But when they join, they can see what we were doing. So we were writing one list of things that are heavy right now for us. And before we write the second list, I'm inviting you to do some stretching. So stretch your body, just look away from the computer for a few seconds. Feel comfortable. Take a couple of breaths. Now this is the time when we're going to write the second list. So in the first list, we wrote things that were heavy for us. And then the second list, it could be next to the first list or on another page or below the first list. So you write things that are great, you're grateful for. It could be small things, could be big things. Just keep writing. Again, I play some more music and then you keep writing what you're grateful for. And then try to also be aware of what comes to mind and heart, what feelings you're experiencing, what you're writing, what you're grateful for. And then be ready to share both the list and your experiences while writing these two lists. I'll play some more music. Thank you so much. I'd like to see if you can, maybe a couple of participants open the mic and share your experiences. And maybe you can share some items you wrote in the to list. Maybe one thing that is heavy you want to share, and one thing that you're grateful for you would like to share. And also I'm curious about your experiences while writing this, right? And then you can also write in the chat, and people that are in Facebook Live, you can also write in the chat and we can read the chat. And if you're watching this recording, that will be also great to process your experiences while writing this to list.
Yeah, I'm just curious too, like, did you notice any shift inside of you? What impact did that exercise have on you?
Mary, excuse me, do we have to share both lists? No?
No, actually, we're more interested in the impact. How did it impact you, the experience? I think if everybody shares their list, we might not have enough time. So, but if you want to share one or two things from your list, you can, for sure. But what we'd love to hear is the impact. And Pablo here writes, first list made me think more, reflect more, second list, piece of cake. Yeah, so sometimes it's easier to write what you're grateful for, huh? Yeah.
Anyone else would like to share?
I think you feel lighter. I mean, whenever you write the second one, and I was having troubles writing the first one actually, like, and I know that there are things that are heavy going on in my life, but I mean, putting them into words or knowing, not guessing, but figuring out what it is that is bothering me or that is making me feel kind of heavy, like it's a little bit difficult. But then you start writing and you start reflecting on everything that you are grateful for. And I mean, my list got way longer than the first one. And like, there are always more things to be grateful for than the ones that are actually going wrong in your life. If they just sit down and take a look at them, just not focus on the bad.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Marcella writes, she feels stronger and more relaxed.
Thinking about writing about the impact.
Mary, something that impacted me is that most of people, they are not grateful for their jobs as a teacher, because this job, it's very, very hard. And I learned since I start to enjoy my job is that I can thank God because I can impact the life of many people, even students and also parents and colleagues. Because when I teach with a lot of passion, and I always want to research a lot in order to share with the students and colleagues and parents and all the people that I can. So that's important.
Laura, I'm curious, did making the lists have an impact on you in terms of thinking about this?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. In Facebook Live, Natalie wrote, it makes me feel more conscious about what I have more than what I don't have. That's sweet. Thanks. And Virginia wrote, it was relaxing and surprising how many things to be grateful for. Yeah. Sweet. And Jenny writes, it was a nice activity. Made you think, and so many things happen around us that we should be proud and grateful for, and other things we should change. Yes, similar to what Laura was saying too, right? That's great. All right, Iván, should we go on to the next activity?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Go ahead, Mary. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So that's one activity. That's something that you can do. It's free, you guys. You don't have to pay anybody to make a list, right? You can do it on your cell phone. You can do it on paper. You could do it on a napkin at the restaurants. You could leave gratitude lists anywhere you want to go. Well, I'd like to do a little bit of a focused thinking activity. And for this, I'm going to be reading some of these things, but I'm going to actually stop the share because I'd like you to listen. But we'll be giving you all of the slides so you can have it later on for sure. And I just want to invite you, this is a gratitude practice that it just sort of involves thinking and visualizing inside your head. So I want to invite you to sit comfortably. Just take a minute, notice how you're sitting. Notice how your body is. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, just relax your face. See if you can make your body a little bit more relaxed than it is. And just to get comfortable, and notice your breathing too. What do you notice in your breath? Just take a minute to notice. And the first thing I'd like to invite you to think about is think about someone that brings a smile to your face. Choose somebody in your life that when you think of them, you just smile. What is it about that person that you feel grateful for? Just holding that person and that sweetness inside of you. What are you grateful for to that person? And now I want you to think about somebody it could be a student, could be a colleague, somebody from a project you've done that has been challenging for you. Somebody not so easy, that your smile is not the first thing that comes to your mind. Just think about the person who's challenging for you. And I want you to think, what is it that you've learned by being with this person? How have you learned or grown or changed because of the challenge? And what can you be grateful for because of what you've learned? That's number 2. Next, I want you to think about yourself. Right? What is it that you could be grateful to you for? What do you appreciate about yourself that you'd like to acknowledge? And now what I'd like you to do is just take a minute and imagine these 3 people, a friend or a colleague or a student that when you're with them, they make you smile and you're grateful to them. And a student or a friend or a colleague or a family member that you find challenging. It's hard to be with them. And you've learned something because of that. And you're grateful for that. And yourself. Something about yourself that you're grateful for. Yeah. What I am going to do is send you off to breakout rooms and invite you to have a conversation with people in the great breakout rooms. Anything you'd like to share about what came to your mind when you're thinking about gratitude for these 3 people. And I'm also going to invite some of you to actually stay here in this room. So let me just quickly organize this. All right. We're going to send you rooms for about 5 to 7 minutes and to talk either about your experience doing the gratitude activity visualization or anything else you'd like to about gratitude. Oops, that didn't work. Hold on a minute. I think we're all stuck. Let me try again. You're going to come back and then I'm going to send you back. Oh no. We have to wait a minute now. I don't know what happened. I pushed a button and I pushed another button. When everybody comes back in 38 seconds, I'll send you off to your room. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. The joys of technology. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh. Wow. And for the people in Facebook Live, if you all would like to add any comments about the experience of the visualizing these 3 people, and feel free to add it in. And I want to say hi to Karen, who's with us. That's great. And Araceli Salas, that's great. It's nice to see you all. Okay, now I'm going to send you to your rooms. You'll have about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to open the rooms now. There we go. Enjoy. And some people are staying here in this room. And because we have some people on Facebook Live, I'd love for the people who are here to also have a conversation here so that we can share it with some of the other people, if that's all right. So how was that for you? Marilu, Gabriela, Pablo, Iván.
It was
Hello.
very interesting. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Gabriela.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I think that whenever you said like the first person that comes to mind that actually you're grateful for, I have a baby nephew, and it just like, I mean, it actually like tears came to my like to me, right, like to my eyes, because it's just so beautiful. Like, I mean, the love that babies can actually give you, and in you, I mean, they're so pure and so like, I mean, there's no like bad things about them, right? Like they are just joy, and it just fills my heart with gratitude to have them with me, like in my life right now. Then for the second person, I never thought that I was gonna be grateful for that person specifically, and but the lessons that I learned from that person were so incredibly wholesome. I mean, you just say, what would my life be without this person? And probably it wasn't the best person in your life, or it wasn't the nicest or the best, right? But whatever you got from that person specifically, what you learned, that's what you are grateful for, right? And for me, I mean, I'm just so thankful that I have been able to learn what I have learned until now. And I know that I have so many lessons to learn, but I'm so grateful for myself and for how brave I've been in so many moments of my life. And I think that that's something to be thankful for. And I think that everybody here has to be grateful for your own life and for who you are and for how tough has been sometimes and for how wonderful you've been during those moments. So
Thanks, Gabby. Thanks. Marilu, would you like to share anything about how that experience was?
Yes, for the first person, it was my I live apart from my parents, and I live in Chimbote, it's a city, and then I'm from Trujillo, but I got a post to work in Chimbote, so I live apart from them. So I'm very grateful for both of them, my parents, and they come to my mind because they were just at the age that I am now. They are, okay, parents who got 21, because they are worried all the time about me. I'm not the child anymore, but they are always, okay, calling me. I am calling them. I want to visit them more often, but for working here is not possible. And I am grateful to God for having my parents after this very difficult situation that we have with pandemia. My father suffers from diabetes, but he survives from the pandemic. So that's why I'm very grateful for that. Okay, having my parents now, both of them are with me. I visit them not more often, every weekend, or sometimes when I have the time, and I would like to have more time for traveling to Trujillo and be with them. I am grateful for, and when I wanted to share something from the previous activity when you told us to write to list, right? I could discover that there are more things that I am grateful for, because when I started to write about the first things that are not so good in my life, it was difficult for me to write about them. So this is one, well, it's because now Peru is suffering from a very bad political situation right now. It was the first thing that came to my mind. But then I started, what else? What else? There are no more. Okay, then maybe one or two, lots of work that I have to do and no time for doing that. But then when you, ask us to write about the things that we are grateful for, I started to write a lot of things, all right? So that's why it was very good experience for me to find that I am more grateful, for things rather than for things that happen to me that are not so good. That's why I wanted, and it was a good experience, all right, to discover that, to find out that there was not so much time to share or to write about the things that I am grateful for. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilu. Welcome back, everyone.
Thanks, Mary. Welcome back. And thanks, Pablo, for writing in the chat that you agree with Javiera, even though the second person may represent something not so positive, makes you feel grateful for what you learned from the experience of sharing with that someone. Would not make sense if you had regret or hard feelings towards them, because gratitude brings forgiveness. So both so powerful and healing. Absolutely. And in the Facebook live chat, Natalie wrote, it was powerful for me to see that I was forgotten to be thankful for myself and recognize all those things I do every day. That's awesome. Yeah. It's hard to remember to be grateful to ourselves, right? Yeah. So welcome back. We're happy to have you all with us. The last thing we want to share today, which is we said we were going to finish around 7:30. We're going to take a little bit more time. If you have to leave, that's okay. But I want to share this with you because this is sort of our magic formula. And our magic formula comes from the world of nonviolent communication by Marshall Rosenberg. And it's this amazing process based on understanding what our needs are. And then having this intention to really develop a really quality connection with someone so that we can value and understand each other's needs and then figure out how we can get everybody's needs met. And so this is what, in terms of communicating gratitude, this is something that we have, Iván and I have been working on. If I can speak for you too, Iván. I think we've both been working on it now for many years, practicing and trying to learn more about ourselves and about other people. And what are our needs? And these universal human needs or values they're words, right? They're abstract words that describe this life energy that feels so good and so real. So, when you said, I think, Avi, that you said you felt seen and whole, your need for maybe appreciation was being met, or your need for being seen, right? It was met. And so one of the things that we've been working on is how do you learn how to recognize what are the needs that are being met or what are the needs that are not being met, and then use that when we are showing gratitude. So when we're expressing gratitude, there's two key components: saying what happened, and then recognizing the impact of that experience by sharing what our feelings are and what needs were met. And Iván, I don't know if you can share in the chat the handout for the feelings and needs. That might be something nice for people to have.
That would be nice, yeah.
Would you mind? And so I'm gonna leave these up for right now and just do a few little practices. So right now, I just want to say to Iván that right now, when I asked if you would share the list, the handout on feelings and needs, I just also felt really relieved and grateful because I had forgotten to organize that and bring that out today. And so my need for support was being met. Definitely feel supported. Also, and a need for kindness. I think your willingness to collaborate together and with such kindness really is such a gift for me in my life. So I said what happened, and then I said what feelings and needs were met. Feelings that I have and what needs were met. Right. And so we want to invite you to try this magic formula out, thinking about something that you were great today. We did a lot of thinking about gratitude. What's something that you were grateful for, and that you can now add on this, like, oh, I was grateful because my need for something was being met. And so I don't know, Natalie, I want to guess with you. I think you're out there still. That you said you'd forgotten to see all the things that you do every day. So in being grateful to yourself, because your need, I'm guessing maybe your need for order, your need for accomplishments were probably being met. I don't know, I'm guessing. And I'm wondering if anybody would like to try a gratitude out with us, where you state what happened and what feelings and needs were actually met. Anybody like to try? Maybe one of those three people. I'm also going to put in the chat the feedback form for whenever, if anybody needs to leave, if you could fill out the feedback form, that would be great.
When we were filling in the lists,
Mm-hmm.
I felt peaceful, like calm, and I don't know, like I think that the thing that joyful too, with the fact that I wasn't focusing so much on the bad, but on the good that is going on in my life. And I think that it felt a need for safety. Like I kind of like needed to feel safe, that I'm living in a safe environment, right? And that things that are bad are not as bad as I might thought, right? And yeah, like I think that it felt that also a need for peace. Like it's been a rough couple of months lately, and I needed like a space like this one, to feel peaceful and to have peace. So yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
Oh.
And I also wanted to share with you guys in the chat here, because Natalie was great. Natalie wrote that she actually needed more connection with herself. And so getting those things done helped you feel that sense of connection yourself. And I think it's so important. Like if I can guess about somebody else, but I'm not guessing to be right or wrong. I'm guessing to put the idea out there and see how it lands. And if that person can get clarity on what was right for them, and they'll have that fullness of the gratitude piece. So thank you, Natalie, for that.
You know, I like to practice gratitude
Mhm.
and the formula. Mary, last Saturday, you took my wife to the health post.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And, you know, you doing that, you brought space and rest to my life.
Mhm.
It's about at least 2 or 3 hours driving and staying with her. So I know you were taking care of her, and that brought me some space for myself. And then also I rest a little bit. So thank you so much for that.
So glad to know that. I'm so glad. It was my pleasure and joy. Yeah.
Mary, can I say?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm thankful because of my TDAH eye diagnostic. Because right now, even though I have this condition, I learned about it and I researched a lot about it, and I can help other people, even, well, most of them adults, that they don't know that they have it, and they don't have the tools to manage his or her life. And also the most important is that I can help students more efficiently, you know. And even though this is a condition that is not kind of well, good if you see it with different eyes, you know, or since other point of view, for me it's something that very positive in my life, and I'm thankful for that.
Mm. Well, Laura, thank you so much. It sounds like that having that has given you an opportunity to learn, and then also an opportunity to connect on a different level with your students.
Exactly. And I love it. And I'm thankful a lot with God, with this situation in my life.
Mm. Thank you so much. Anybody else like to try out the magic formula? What happened, and then what feelings and needs were met? Okay, no worries. But Pablo writes, these kind of activities make me reflect and make me go deep inside myself and analyze things that I take for granted. Makes me feel positive, optimistic, and relaxed. So glad to hear that. Pablo, thank you. I'm thinking about gratitude with our students, and I'm thinking about how many of us are finishing up the school year, or at least the semester, or getting ready for going on Christmas break soon, or holiday break. And just wondering if anybody has some gratitude they're feeling towards their students. Anything else that you'd like to share? Or things that went, any thoughts in terms of what you might do with your students in terms of gratitude? Marcella wrote here, I liked that I had time to exercise gratitude with more people. Me too. So glad. Yeah. And the other option that we're thinking about is, what else are you feeling? Are you feeling grateful towards yourself? Can you write something to yourself that you're grateful for? What did you do? How did you feel about it? And what needs were met? That would be our closing offering, a gift to yourself. And we had one other activity, a free-flowing journal, which The study was based on writing gratitude journals. We're not going to have time to do that tonight, but we're going to offer that. We'll send you the slides. And we're curious now too, there's 4 different pathways in expressing gratitude that can motivate us. One is feeling a more sense of connectedness. One is feeling sort of an uplifting feeling a little elevated, or feeling a greater sense of humility, or maybe feeling a sense of indebtedness that you maybe also feel that you're owing somebody something. Just curious, did any of you experience any of those today in the session with the gratitude? Oh, thanks, Laura. Laura wrote, I'm grateful for my positive attitude every day because it gives me reasons to be happy. Mm-hmm. With that,
I would love to learn to say something about the last question there.
Mm-hmm.
I think not only about teaching English, about teaching in general. I think that when you're grateful, when you like provide your students with this tool that they might not know, because you are always thankful for things, but when you like see it, when you provide your students with this wonderful like adventure, which is gratitude, you can shift the way in which your students perceive you and the way in which you perceive your students. I think that there is a way in which you connect profoundly with them, and it helps you to see them as human beings and to understand their struggles, to understand where they come from. I think that it helps you connect with them, and I think that teaching is based on connection, and you always need to build that connection first. And I think that through gratitude, like having an exercise at the beginning of the class, guys, what are you grateful for today? Like, people, what do you like about your life right now? Like, what is going on in your life right now? Like, just 5 minutes, even though it's 30 students, even though you have 40 students in a classroom, like they are going to be happy to share with you what is going on in their lives. If you ask, if you take that moment to ask, and everything is going to go well from then on, because you're building the foundations of connection and love towards them, right?
Thanks so much, Gabby. I think there's people on Facebook Live can't really see all the hearts coming in, but there's hearts coming in. Yeah, so I'm going to stop the share here. We can continue talking. I'm just going to stop sharing the last slide. Just any other comments that you'd like to add? I see Cynthia writes, I'm grateful for every single moment of my life, the good ones and the challenging ones, about teaching. The connection with my students helped me overcome the challenging year we were going through.
I'd like to share, Mary, one practice that's been doing lately. It's been grateful with one specific sense. In the morning, for example, when I make coffee, and I have the smell of coffee getting into my nose, and say, oh, I'm grateful to, have this smell getting into my body. And I'm tasting coffee, the first sip of coffee, and say, oh my God, I'm grateful for this taste, like I love. So just practicing using my senses, so grateful senses. And then we have, in the morning or at night, we have different types of birds. And then just listening or see them flying, say, oh my God, I'm grateful to see these beautiful macaws flying with beautiful, colors. So just wanted to share, like, this is bringing me more and more joy to my life by practicing with specific senses.
That's beautiful, Iván. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining. We are super happy to have been with you. We hope you have a good holiday season. If you celebrate, downtime if you don't celebrate, but you have time off. Yeah. We look forward to seeing you all again in 2023. Yeah.
We hope that. We hope that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Tatiana.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining and sharing.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Mhm.
Sending a big hug for Peruvian teachers.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going through.
Thank you very much, Mary and Ivan, because I love this session and I'm waiting for the other ones in 2023. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Laura.
Bye.
Thank you, Mary. Did you share the link to download the presentation or?
Oh,
it the
I
link?
can do that in a minute. We haven't
Thanks.
done that. Let me do that right now. I will organize that. I guess we can stop our thank you Facebook Live, people. We can stop the Facebook Live. Thank you all. Hope you have a happy holiday. Facebook Live. Goodbye. We're done. And we can stop our recording here.